Originally, I wanted to make a video talking about people losing interest in Osu, but I made my why Osu content is dying instead, since it felt appropriate to make a video like that because of the drama happening at the time. Well, this is going to be the video where I talk about people losing interest in Osu. I was pretty oblivious about the game's decline, but now seeing things like the large dip in the concurrent player graph is quite depressing. I don't get it, the game is still fun, I think. But with the realization of the game's decline, I've begun reflecting about myself because I felt like I've been losing my own motivation for the game as well. I barely play standard and most of my play count is now on catch. I started to think why. Why did I continue to play Osu for so long, and why did my motivation start to decline? We have to go to the beginning of my Osu journey. Not this part, because I didn't take the game seriously, but around here. There were some ingredients that were able to make up my motivation for the game. We have the foundation, which is improvement. I started playing more frequently during lockdown, where I felt like I was able to quickly improve since I was relatively new to the game. It was like a cycle. This started with seeing improvement from gaining rank or seeing higher local scores. This improvement will give me that dopamine hit, which will make me happy. For once, that would motivate me to continue to try and push myself, which then actually makes me improve. Crazy. And that improvement would give me more dopamine. Alright, now looking at it, this is probably just an addiction cycle. So with all this improvement and being inspired by the Osu World Cup, I decided to try out in tournaments at the start of 2021. In tournaments, you have all these maps you have to play, and each map is uniquely different relating towards a skill type. Tech maps, alt, finger control, low AR. These were also new to me because I pretty much only played jump aim maps when starting out. It felt like I was rediscovering the game again since it exposed me to different styles of mapping. I love playing all these unique skill sets, and with me improving in them, I joined my first team tournament. I had to make a video about how much fun I had, and in that video you can see the amazing people I've met and the story we experienced together. Make sure you chuck in that micro e-celebrity status into the mix, and now you have the recipe for the next top player. Watch out, Emmerich. This didn't turn out as I expected. Well, shit, that wasn't even close. What happened? Maybe there was something wrong with the ingredients. Well, first of all, there's not a lot of improvement left. It's pretty demotivating when you stagnate in the same 80k rank range for a year, and you make a video about the frustrations playing through that period. But look guys, I'm not stuck at 80k anymore. Yay? It doesn't really feel like an achievement, because it's so easy to compare yourself to others, especially now, where it feels like top players just come out of nowhere, improving super quickly. Just play more, said every single top player in existence. Well, it's simple for them to give that type of two-dimensional advice, because it casually takes them a few hours to do something that will take the average player hundreds of hours to do.
Emmerich's initial rise is the stuff of a legend. It's pretty much the template for a prodigy, getting from 100 to 400 PP in just 5 months.
Bro, I've been playing this game for 6 years, I don't even have a 400. It's impressive to see the skill cap gradually get broken, but it makes you more insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Doesn't really feel like a point when the skill cap is far beyond our reach. I mean, what I said is basically the definition of having a bad mentality, but it's like telling a depressed person stop being depressed. Your mental state doesn't suddenly change. Tournaments were a big change for me, from the original video being a type of love letter towards them, to now present day where I just fucking hate tournaments. All the ones I joined after my first team tournament were all done to try to chase that initial high and enjoyment, but I quickly realized that that video was a glorification of them. I already complained about tournaments in my other videos, but here's a recap.
Lightning round, go! Scheduling can be a pain where you have to wake up early or stay up at 2 AM clicking circles. D-rankers are like, oh I don't know what the problem is, just get good, without realizing that they are the problem. Tournaments go on for too long because each week is a different round, taking up a lot of time commitment. You frequent teammates that don't care enough, so what's even the point of trying to win a shitty PNG tourney banner?
Well, those are the main complaints and issues I have for tournaments. But another one I have is that since they get more popular, tournaments become more saturated. It feels like anyone can come up with some tourney banner, copy and paste other listings, and then post it on the forum. This means that people will just host a tournament without any thought, and then realize early that hosting isn't for them. So the quality of the tournament will go to shit. Referees don't show up, streamers don't bother to stream the matches, tourney gets delayed because no one made a map pool. But then when the map pool gets actually released, you realize that the maps are shit. It's a bit of a reflection to the current state of the rank section being rubbish, in the opinion of most players I come across. Mapping peaked in X year. We need to bring back Sotarks. It's all opinionated, but it feels like there's been a larger divide between players and mappers recently. It feels like mappers prioritize creating more of an emphasis with the song representation and visual style of the objects in the map. I often see players complain about the overuse of sliders as a way of representation, but it makes sense on how the sliders are used. Examples are maps from Ryusei Aika, where it often maps sliders to the vocals. Every extended sound of the word sung in Usewa is represented with a slider, and the size of it matches the length of the extended word. There's nothing wrong with this because it actually portrays the song's beat and tone without making it out of sync or timed incorrectly. Okay, sounds cool. So you play it and then you quickly realize the map isn't fun. These high velocity sliders feel impossible to track and you just end up getting 100s on them. There are probably better ways to map the vocals that make it playable, but man, why do Ryusei map banger Vocaloid songs, but they all play like shit? As much as I don't like his maps, it's not just him. It feels like mappers now prioritize everything but actual enjoyment you get from playing the map. A simple Vocaloid song can become a tech map, even though it doesn't feel like it fits the song. I stopped playing these newer weird tech and alt maps in favor of those simpler aim maps that were popular pre-2020 because they feel nice to play. No wonder why the newly ranked section feels dead into a popular animated intro or flow aim stream farm map that can get speed abuse with DT gets ranked. That's the new meta. You'll just see top players play the same maps over and over again. Lionheart, Glory Days, Slider, the Leah K trilogy. I mean, makes sense. Most of the top players are speed players, obviously, and they just play speed maps. There isn't anything interesting with these maps, it's just streams, and I don't really like these types of maps, so they feel boring to me. Maybe I'm wrong about everything I said, since I don't understand all the conceptual meanings behind every circle placement, because I'm not a mapper, I'm a player. My judgment is going to be based if I find the map fun to play. It's just trying to find a balance between both worlds, giving the map some conceptual value to make the map feel unique to the song, alongside with making it enjoyable and feel playable for the players. Well, enough about being a player, let's switch to being a viewer instead. Well, I said most of my points in my other video. TLDR is boring and repetitive because people only talk about drama or top players, and we as a community haven't allowed content to evolve. The issue is that content in the community is important because it attracts newer players. So, how did you find out about this game? Well, firstly, people find this game through Wolf playing the Impossible song, or Cookie Z's Freedom Dive play. You wouldn't hear someone say they got into the game because they found out in a YouTube video that the best player in the United States, Utami, was... Well, my lack of useful ingredients fucked up this cheesecake. What do I do now? Well, I guess I can go outside to the shops. I wasn't able to refill my fridge because of the pandemic, but COVID isn't really a thing anymore, so I should probably go outside and touch some grass. People aren't confined in their rooms anymore. They can actually return to normal lives instead of being a screen for the whole day. You have to go outside to attend school or go to work. This gives us less time to be at home to spend on our hobbies, which obviously explains some of the player base's decline when COVID started to subside in 2022. This also applies to other online things, not just Osu. Twitch and YouTube, two platforms content creators usually reside on, started to get less active viewers as well. Even before COVID, the game still felt like it was more active than what it is currently. Osu doesn't feel the same anymore, but yet we still keep playing it because we're probably addicted. So does it really matter that the game's been declining? Or does it really matter when your favorite restaurant cuts costs with the food and increase the prices? The place is still there, but you miss it when it was actually good and made you keep coming back. I'm not saying Osu isn't good anymore, but I'm old. I'm not a reminiscent peak beginning times. Tournaments were fun, Osu content felt fresh, I was happy with my improvement, but it doesn't feel the same anymore. Even though the game hasn't changed, which is probably another problem itself, it somehow feels like it has, but it might have been reflective of the world around me. I made my account when I was in high school, played it mainly throughout university and COVID as a cope, because university sucks, and now as an adult, you kinda realize time is important, and spending all my free time on a circle clicking game isn't appealing anymore. It's an incredibly hard game to get good at, spending like 3 to 4 hours per day so you can actually improve and not let your skill level rust. It's time that's not worth sacrificing anymore. I played this game for 6 years already, going to be 7 soon, which gives me time to change as a person. It's natural that I want to play different games or try out different things, alongside other responsibilities. It's just life gets in the way, you know.